How you doing? MMAfighting.com, joined by Jorge Masvidal, takes on Darren Till in the main event of UFC London on Saturday night. Jorge, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Phenomenal. Doing what I love to do, fighting, man. Shit, I can't be happier, man. I can't ask for anything more.
We spoke to Brad Pickett just days ago, and he was saying that's the difference between you and everyone Darren's ever fought. He said this guy would fight outside, no problem. He's ready to go at all times. Do you think that's a big difference between you and the guys that Darren has fought to date so far?
Um, Man, that is a big difference that I'm just willing to go. You know, I really like what I do, so it's different when you judge me and there's fighters that are doing it for a paycheck or whatever. You know, I actually didn't have many other ways out where I was at, and I happen to love this, so it's a no-brainer for me. I'm gonna do this with everything I got. You know, my experience though, my fighting style, and my perseverance mixed with the game that I have, that I'm just a dog. I'm not gonna quit. He's never seen nothing like me in his life. I guarantee you. After Saturday, he'll write a book on what he learned from me. You know.
It's been a while since we've seen you in action. Do you feel like absence makes the heart grow fonder in a sense? Like, you know, when you're away from the game, it's kind of getting you itching to get back in there?
In a way, yeah. You know, I miss it so much. It's crazy. You know. People asking me, am I worried about ring rust? No, because what I do is fighting. It's all I know how to do. I couldn't do anything else probably as far as like working a 9 to 5 or fucking shooting basketballs or playing with balls and shit like that. It's not my thing, man. I like to fight, you know, and not so much to see who's the toughest guy, but it's just such an art form. It's such a primal instinct in every human being. That's why on the way to the biggest soccer game in the world, if a fight breaks out in the parking lot, you're going to stop and watch. It's hardwired into us, you know, and man, I come from a tribe of ass-kicking men, I'm sure, because it's just in me, man. I could just do this, you know, at any point in my life.
What do you think of Ben Askren coming over here? He seems to think he's automatically getting the winner of this fight. I know Leon Edwards and Gunnar Nelson also have said they think they're going to get the winner of this fight. But in Ben Askren in particular, do you think that's a bad idea for him based on how he got on against predominantly a striker and Robbie Lawler in his first outing, coming in against you or Till, depending on who the winner is?
For one, we won't even mention no more names on my interview of these guys because we just gave them a whole lot of press, bro. Nobody even knew those bums before you mentioned them right now, you know? And that's something that the media and like the fans, like, if you just talk, you know, I've mentioned this in a couple of interviews. If I start talking bad about Donald Trump, my president, they're not going to go to an interview of him and be like, hey, this guy Jorge Masvidal's talking junk about. No, it's not going to happen, you know. Why it happens in MMA, I don't know, you know. We got number 37 of the world calling me out and number whatever the fuck calling me out. Meanwhile, I'm fighting number 3. You know, and my ranking has dropped because I've been inactive for a while. But I'm fighting the hardest, best fight that I could get out. Why do I care about anybody else? And they constantly get brought up in other interviews, you know. Ben could say and do whatever the fuck he wants. He's a punk. Robbie didn't go to sleep. So I get it. In the moment you get caught up, my hands are up in the air, I won. You see the replay as a man. You see the replay, and you see that he has a thumbs up. I never seen somebody sleeping like that. I would say, let's do it again. I'm going to fuck you up without a doubt, show it to the world. But he's a weasel, he's a punk here already. Before they even brought that up, he said, no, not a chance, not doing it. Why? Why? Because you're not a fucking man. You're a punk, and the bitch in you will be brought out. Am I fighting him after this fight? No, because I'm fighting for the title. But I will break his face at some point. I don't know if it'll be in a parking lot. I don't know if it'll be at a gym. I don't know if it'll be in the octagon. But that guy ever gets fresh with me in person, that's right then and right there, you know? Plus, I don't like his corny ass, you know? And I remember said that you brought him up, and all interviewers, stop asking me about Ben and the other dude from England. Don't give a fuck. All interviews, please listen, because the next guy that does is just going to get shooed away. I don't want to hear about these bums in my interview, you know?
I appreciate you answering the question all the same. I got to ask you about, you know, Stephen Thompson. You fought Stephen. Darren's obviously fought Stephen, and it was a very technical fight. A lot of people expect this to be a bit of a tear-up. They expect a lot of exchanges. Do you think Darren's going to try and, you know, pick his shots rather than exchange with you? Because obviously you're known for being very good in those kind of situations.
Darren's a gambler. That's why I like him. That's why he gets stoppages. He puts himself in harm's way. He goes for the finishes. He puts himself in way. Thompson is man, it's you can't get him to commit, you know. It's tough to get him to commit. Not to take anything from him. His styles work for him, and he shouldn't change anything up. But Darren's a complete different fighter, you know, and he's a game guy, and he gets hit. He wants to give that hit back. Thompson will get hit, and he'll, you know, readjust himself, create distance. So it's complete different fighters, you know. But you get two dogs in there that or not afraid to give damage or take it, it usually makes for a great fucking fight, man.
And just finally, as you said earlier, Usman is the fight you're looking for if your hand is raised on Saturday night.
Yeah, whoever's got the belt at the time, whenever I go to compete for it, that's what I'm looking for. Obviously, it's Usman right now. I don't know if Woodley will get a rematch. I don't know what's going on. I don't own a TV, and that's by choice, so I really don't give a fuck, man, about the world. I just care about fighting, man, whoever's next when I get there, you know?
Thank you very much, Jorge. Thank you.